Coincidence that the Son of God is born in a town named House of Bread and placed in a food trough. This God-man Jesus will grow up to tell us, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Now, many of us have our mangers in our homes during the holiday season, proudly on display. We have two of them, one from my Aunt Estelle, which she had probably about 80 years ago, and I believe she got it from a store called Woolworths. And a really beautiful one we have, small little pieces, but have been for the family, and they're proudly on our wall unit, is one that my mom made in ceramics. They're on display every holiday season, as I'm sure yours are as well. What's the story behind your manger? The ones you proudly display in your home. Perhaps on your front lawn, under the Christmas tree, on your wall unit, in display on the fireplace. The story of your manger in your home. Now, to end our show, I thought I'd go back to someone who's special to many, many people. A former president of the United States, President Ronald Reagan. He once, during Christmas, had all these little kids gather around the tree in the White House. And he read them a story, a very important story, which we'll share together now.
The story of the birth of Jesus. But since that time, down through the years, there have been many legends and stories and poems, and there was a great writer, Dickens, who wrote a story that lives today and has lived for many years called Christmas Carol. When Franklin D. Roosevelt was president of this country, every year he used to read that story to his family. I have another piece that's about Christmas that I'd like to read to you because I think it tells a great deal about this day. It's called One Solitary Life. You know what that means, just one single life. And I think it describes the meaning of Christmas. There was a man born of Jewish parents in an obscure village, the child of a peasant woman. He grew up in another obscure village. He worked in a carpenter shop until he was 30 years old. And then for 3 years, he was what's called an itinerant preacher. He traveled around just preaching on street corners and wherever people would gather and listen. He never wrote a book. He never held an office of any kind. He never owned a home. He never had a family. He never went to college. He never put his foot inside a big city and never traveled more than 200 miles from the place where he was born. He never did any of the things that usually accompany greatness. And while still a young man, preaching as he was doing, the tide of popular opinion turned against him. His friends ran away from him. He was turned over to his enemies. They went through the mockery of a trial. His executioners gambled for the only piece of property he had, his coat. When he was dead, he was taken down and laid in a borrowed grave. 19 wide centuries, 1900 years or more, almost 2,000 have come and gone. And today, he is the centerpiece of much of the human race. All the armies that have ever marched, all the navies that ever were built, all the parliaments that ever sat, all of the kings that ever reigned, have not affected the life of man upon this earth, all put together as powerfully as this one solitary life. I've always believed that the story of that young man, of Jesus, is a story of hope. If we live our lives for truth and for love, because that's what he told us to do, and for God, we never have to be afraid. God will be with us. He'll be a part of something much larger, much stronger, and much more enduring than any force that has ever existed on this earth. God bless you. Merry Christmas.
Oh, I've been so lucky and I've been so blessed. In spite of my failings, I've found success. For I've known love and I've known good times, and I have known friendship and written some rhymes.
We've been doing the real meaning of Christmas, and thank you for joining me on this journey. A special thanks to a number of folks and people and groups, Pentatonics, for their beautiful renditions of Mary Did You Know and O Come, O Come Emmanuel. For Josh Groban and his wonderful rendition of O Holy Night. For the St. Martin de Tours Christmas Ensemble Group for their beautiful songs heard throughout our show. And to Lucy McNamara for putting them all together. To YouTube, to Father Pat Woods, to Father Ricardo of My Parish app, to Paul Cassone for the great song Here's to Good Friends heard through our show, and to my good buddy Mike, my college roommate, who worked so hard to make our show and our voice sound so much better, to President Ronald Reagan for a beautiful rendition of One Solitary Life. We wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. The book, The Last Walk in a Block, is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. It's in Nook, print, and Kindle version. Until next time, have a great week and Merry Christmas.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear in sin and error pining, till he appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is the Lord, then ever praise we. Noel, Noel, oh, night divine. Noel, Noel, oh, night divine. Noel, Noel, oh, night divine.
Here's to good friends, the ones we hold dear, the ones who will tell us what we need to hear, the ones who love us, right or wrong, and to all those good friends who give you this song, and to all those good friends who give you this song.